Hello everyone. So today in entrepreneurship, the next part of unit 2 we will do. In this we have to do what is the meaning of joint stock company. Now joint stock company is a voluntary association of individuals for profit. That means it is a company which is formed by voluntary association of people, and for what this association is for profit making, having a capital divided into transferable shares, and from where the company is getting the capital, they are getting the capital through shares. They are issuing shares in the market, and general public, they subscribe to the shares, or the friends and relatives, they subscribe to the shares and they get the capital. The capital is divided into transferable shares, the ownership of which is the condition of membership. Now how a person becomes member of joint stock company? By having the ownership. That means if someone is purchasing the shares of the company, is contributing to the capital of the company, he becomes a member of the company. So this definition is given by L.H. Henning, and he gave the definition that company, we can see the characteristics also here. So company is a voluntary association for profit where capital is divided into shares, and members are the owners of the company. Okay, now the characteristics of a joint stock company. There are basically 10 characteristics. First is voluntary association. That means voluntarily anyone can become the member or the owner of the joint stock company, or he can exit, or he can come out from the company as well. So it's a voluntary association of people. Then it is a second is it is an artificial person. So artificial person means like we individual, we are a natural person, and companies are artificial person which are created by law. Okay, so there are two types of person: natural person and artificial person. We are natural person because we take birth naturally and we die naturally. Okay, but a company is an artificial person. It is created by law and can be brought to an end by law only. Now it has a separate legal existence. Since company is a person, artificial person, separate from the owner, so it has a separate legal existence. Then the next characteristic is common seal. Now common seal means it is the seal of the company, or it is the official signature of the company. Since a company is an artificial person, it cannot sign any document on its own, so we use the common seal, which is the authorized signature of the company. Then limited liability. This feature is there, which is not there in partnership, HUF and sole proprietorship, but here we have the liability of the owner is limited. It is limited up to the extent of unpaid amount of capital. Means what? Suppose the capital of the share you have purchased is of 100 rupees. Okay, and the shareholder, he has paid 60 rupees till now. That means his liability is limited up to rupees 40 only. That means only 40 rupees the shareholder is required to give. When he has paid 100 rupees, the full amount of the share, nobody can ask him to contribute more for the company. So here the liability is limited. It is limited up to the unpaid amount of unpaid amount of the shares. Then we have transferability of share. See, in private company, the shares there is restriction on transferability of share. But when we talk about public company, the shares can be transferred. It can be easily transferred from one person to another. Then diffusion of ownership and management. In joint stock company, the ownership and management, they are separate. Diffusion of ownership and management means they are separate. The owners are separate group of people, and management is done by experts. Management is done by managerial people. Okay, so there is separation of ownership and management. Then number of members. Like in private company, the number of member is 2, and in public company, the number of member is 7. In private, the maximum number of member is 50, and in public company, there is no limit. So there is difference between public and private company on the basis of the minimum and maximum number of members. Now what is the limitation of action? See, the scope of artificial person, since company is an artificial person, so its scope is determined by the Companies Act, then Memorandum of Association and Article of Association. Its work is limited according to the Companies Act, then Memorandum of Association and Article of Association. Actually, the Act and these two documents, they determine the action which a company can take, okay, and what are the restrictions or limitation of actions of the company. Then last comes winding up. Winding up means incorporation or termination. Now, winding up can be done according to the Companies Act, or it can be done out. See, as we have discussed earlier, it's an artificial person created by law, so winding up can be done by the law only. So these are the characteristics of a joint stock company. Now there are two types of company. First is the private company, second is the public company. So there is difference between public and private company. Now the difference is in number of members, like minimum and maximum numbers. Here there is no limit in maximum number, and here the maximum number is 50 and minimum is 2, here minimum is 7. Then the number of directors also is different in both. Here 2 directors are required, and here minimum 3 directors should be there. Now the shares of the basic difference between private and public company is that the members or the shareholders of private company, they cannot transfer their shares freely to anyone. Okay, so that means there is restriction on transferability of shares. And when we are talking about public company, there is no restriction on transferability of shares in public company. That means public company can ask general public to subscribe for its shares, and these shares are easily transferable. Then one more thing is the private company, they have to write PVT Ltd with their name. That means private limited with their name, and a public company has to write limited with their name. So there are some basic difference in these two types of companies. Now, why private company is more desirable? Because here the minimum number of member is less, and here private company, the minimum number of member is less, then the director number is also less, okay, and they don't have to issue prospectus, but in public company they have to issue prospectus also. So and the directors of private company, they don't need to have qualification shares. So there are some difference in private and public company. Some advantages are there with private companies, so that is why it is more desirable. With this, we complete this part of this part, the different forms of business organization of this unit 2. Till now, only this much we'll do, and in the next video, we'll start with business plan, a very important part of unit 2.